What is up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Welcome, new subscribers. Thank you for watching my building the McLaren video, guys. I really thought that nobody was gonna watch it and that the review would get more views than the building process, but a lot of you guys tuned in and I appreciate it. So as you know, my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers just got their asses kicked. And I've made 3 different videos now because I don't want to be too, angry over just football, at the end of the day, it's just a football game. But I've been following this team for 20 years. And, well, I'm used to being spoiled, okay? I'm used to having a reliable, good quarterback, a good defense, and seeing a cutthroat team. And these last few years have been rough. Seeing Matt Canada come along, Kenny Pickett, and then this year. And this year, I think, is the most divisive I have ever seen Pittsburgh fans. And I think if you look back at this season, this is one of the worst seasons I've ever seen. We have such a talented defense and a talented special teams. And really, we have a talented offense. We really do. The pieces are there. But all season long, I've been saying Fields or Russell. I don't think we're good enough on an offensive level to be Super Bowl caliber. The only reason you would start Russell Wilson is in hopes for a Super Bowl. Otherwise, it's a wasted year that we could have spent building up Fields, trying to figure out if we need to draft a new quarterback. Because to be honest with you, I don't think either of our quarterbacks are the option. However, there are too many problems. We have lack of weapons. We have problems in the secondary. I do not like our new offensive coordinator, but to his credit, he's had to deal with 3 different quarterbacks. And when you're dealing with a different quarterback, figuring out their strengths, you call different plays, So I'm trying to give the offensive coordinator as much credit as I can, but I think we need to part ways with him. I do. Because look at this game, for example. We did not get a first down until the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. We were down 21 points, and then we scored 2 touchdowns in 5 minutes. It's like and that is the story of the last 5 games. Until we get 2 possessions down, we don't start getting aggressive. It's like our offensive coordinator plays too conservative and too scared, and then once we're 2 possessions down, he's like, we got nothing to lose, and then we play aggressive. That's how you need to play the whole time. We can debate all day who should be at quarterback, Fields or Russell. But if the offensive coordinator is calling shit plays, it doesn't matter. If he's running it twice, then 3rd and 2, throwing it 1 yard, that's on the offensive coordinator. This was a bad coaching season, I think. Now, I am on the side that if you look back at this season, one of the biggest what ifs in my brain is going to be what if we left Justin Fields in. And anybody I've talked to that isn't a Steelers fan agrees that we should have left Fields in. Now look, Fields was not doing amazing. We were 4-2. He had 4 games under 200 yards. But if you look at Wilson's stats, so did he. I do not think 6 games is a good enough sample size. Oh, and Russell turned the ball over damn near every game. He didn't this game, and he didn't last week. So he's getting better at that. But he did turn the ball over almost every game. Justin only turned it over once in 6 games. Or I guess twice. He threw 1 interception and got 1 fumble. So twice in 6 games. Russell turned it over almost every game. I think this is the 3rd game he didn't turn over out of 12. So there is no denying that Russell is the better quarterback. I won't debate with you on that. He is. He is the type of quarterback that he can throw it wherever the fuck he wants. And that's where I'm saying the problems run much deeper than the quarterback position. We don't have very many weapons, guys. You double team Pickens, what are we going to do? Double team Pickens, now stop Harris, make Russell have to drop back. He's fucked. He's going to take a sack. We do not have enough weapons. I think going into this draft, if we're going to go with Russell, we need wide receivers and we need better linebackers for the secondary. If we're going to go with Fields, we need linemen. And to be honest with you, I cannot believe that we didn't utilize both. If you see numbers like Russell got us to the red zone more often but converted less, that tells you Russell gets us across the field more often but struggles in the red zone versus Fields in 11 drives converted on 8 of those drives. Russell in his first 11 drives converted on 4. So that tells you right there, okay, use Russ's arm to get to the red zone, and then when you're inside the 20, put in Fields. And that's what we did. We were on a 10 red zone trip streak of no touchdowns. And who ended that? Fields. Whether you guys want to give him credit or not. Putting Fields in there, they thought he was going to run it. He handed it off. We got our first touchdown in 10 red zone trips. And after we saw that success, we didn't do it again. Why? Why? And why did we put Russ in when we did? That's my biggest problem, is we were coming off of a Raiders game where Fields dominated and Harris dominated. Our defense dominated. That Raiders game, we looked good, dude. And then we had the Jets and the Giants, which would have been 2 great games for Fields to work out some of the jitters, do some practice throws on a horrible defense. So it's the timing that he put Russell in that I'm irritated with. And then now the offensive coordinator's got to cook up new plays, and he never really gave Russ the freedom to be Russ. So instead what you have are a bunch of tiny runs and a bunch of tiny fucking 2-yard passes to the outside. And then whenever we're 2 possessions down, now all of a sudden the offensive coordinator is getting ballsy and Russ can make those throws. But we only had Pickens and Muth. Also, the last play on 4th and 15 that basically ended the game, 83 was wide open in the middle of the field. Wide open. Go rewatch it. Whenever Russ took the shot to the end zone to Pickens, which was a stupid pass, he was triple covered. We're lucky that wasn't intercepted. Not that it mattered, but 83 was wide open. Yes, we needed 15, and 83 was not 15 yards, but he had enough space, and the next defender was all the way up at the 15. So you could have passed it to him for a gain of 8, and then he would have had to run at a defender that was all the way at the line. Spin move, bam, easy first down. Missing wide open players is a big problem that Russ has, and he fumbles it. And he does not convert in the red zone as much. So when you take all that in mind and combine it with the fact that, yes, he does get us more yards per game, but it equals less points because we're not converting as much, but he turns it over more, which gives the other team more points. Yes, he's the better quarterback as far as he gets us more yards, but that's about it. When you have Broncos fans and Seahawks fans telling you good luck, Brandon Perna on That's Good Sports called out exactly how it was going to go. He called it. And I've been saying all season that I don't agree with Russ being in there. I think it's a wasted season. Tell me that that's the worst thing about going into the offseason is not having knowledge. Like the Lions being beat last year, right, in the NFC Championship. They went into the offseason knowing that this year they're going to go to the fucking Super Bowl. We're going into the offseason back to square one. Who do we start at quarterback? What do we do? What the fuck was that? Our offense just laid down and died in the biggest spotlight ever. I feel like this was a wasted season that meant nothing. That could have been something had we left Fields in. If we left Fields in and he underperformed, then at least we know Fields isn't the answer and we can draft another quarterback. But now, say we start Fields next year, we just wasted this year. And the defense isn't getting any younger, right? The special teams isn't getting any younger. But the coaching, man, was atrocious this season. The offensive coordinator, I don't like him. I'm sorry. I do not like him. He calls shit plays. Like, we put Fields in the game and then went for a long passing play. Are you fucking serious? And then we put Russ in the game and went for a running play. It's like the offensive coordinator is calling the opposite plays for which quarterback is on the field. He's very predictable. He really is. Hey, we need to go 1 yard. Hand it back 5. We were at 4th and inches, and yes, we were in our own territory, but 4th and inches is very easy to get. We trusted our offense so little that we didn't even go for that. Probably because we can't get a 4th and 1 because we hand it back 5 yards. Like, we don't learn. The last 5 games, the same exact thing happened. Our defense did good. They hung in there, but we got 2 possessions down, and then we started trying. Like, how are you just going to play one half of football? That's what this offensive coordinator seems to do. Imagine Pittsburgh played just a little bit in the first half this game. We held the Ravens to 7 the second half. So imagine we played just a little bit. Got just 1 touchdown in the fucking first half. And that offensive pass interference, why did Pickens do that? He didn't even need to do that. He could have caught the ball. That was such a needless foul. And it was a good call. I hate to admit it, but it was. He definitely shoved him. He didn't need to, And he has a bad habit of doing that, by the way. He almost did it again, but the player tripped, so luckily it wasn't called, but it he did kind of touch him, just not enough to make him fall. He tripped. And Derrick Henry was disrespecting us. Straight up just fucking... Pff. What the fuck happened to our defense this game? The rushing defense is usually amazing. And you saw TJ Watt, a talented player like TJ Watt, going for Henry and just leaving Lamar wide open. Fake, run 10 yards. So you can tell that the defensive coordinator drilled it into TJ Watt's head all week. You get Henry. No, man. Watch where the ball goes. That's who you get. Because so many plays were due to going after Henry and Lamar runs at 10. And that's the problem with the Ravens. The dual threat, right? And it's the same fucking issue other teams would have to face if we put Fields in the game. I'm tired of people saying that Fields can't pass the ball. I watched him throw a perfect fucking 40-yard moon ball to Pickens into triple coverage, and it was called back because of a holding call, and nobody talks about it. Against the Chargers, 315 yards, 75 on the ground, almost a 400-yard day. And Harris had a 70-yard day. One of our best offensive days outside of the Bengals game. That was with Fields, and we lost because our defense let us down that game. So really, with Fields, we should have been 5-1 with the numbers he put up that game. I understand he wasn't putting up amazing numbers every game, but if you look at Wilson's games and you look at Fields had 4 games that were like 175 yards. Russell had like 5 games that were about 100 and something yards. Yes, you could say he was playing better defenses, but I don't really agree with you because we played the Broncos, we played the Chargers, we played the Colts, we played the Raiders, and we played I don't remember the other 2 that we played, but 3 of the teams that we played with Fields are in the playoffs. So, yeah, it's at the beginning of the season when everybody's finding their footing, but, like, how many fucking excuses are you going to give me for as to why Fields' numbers and success don't matter? He can throw the ball. I've watched it happen. And when he's on the field, he broke our fucking scoreless streak. Russ has the advantage of the arm. Field has the legs and the mystery. The dual threat. So why are we not utilizing them both? I think moving forward, that's the answer. We utilize them both. We put Fields in the red zone. Why the fuck do we just bring him in on one pointless play and pass it? This was a bad coaching season. The offensive coordinator plays high school football, predictable football. Man, let's run it up the gut 3 times for 1 yard. Oh yeah, we just got 1 yard twice in a row by running it up the gut. Let's do it again. It is very disappointing to go into the offseason with less answers than coming into this season with. Because we have no identity. We have no fucking, like, we were beaten down. We played like shit today. That first half was one of the most abysmal halves of football I have ever seen. We just laid down and died. We didn't fight back. We said, fuck this, we don't want to be here. And the Ravens earned it and made us look stupid. When in reality, our rushing defense was top 10. Or was until like the Bengals game. The Bengals game really fudged the numbers up. But our defense was a great defense this year. Especially on turnovers, which we did not get any of this game. That's actually, shit, I just realized that. So this is like the first game that we didn't get a turnover all season. Because we were getting 3-2 every game and not capitalizing on it. And all year long, I got my ass chewed for just being honest. For saying, look, if you look at Russell's stats and you look at Fields, yes, there's strengths and yes, he's better in some ways, but I honestly think Fields fits this team better right now. What we need is consistent points. We have the defense to make the turnovers happen. And when we get to the red zone, we need to convert. Who cares if we get to the red zone 3 times if it results in 3 fucking field goals compared to getting to, the red zone twice and getting 2 touchdowns? And it was such an easy schedule this year. And it was such an easy schedule this year, and it would have been a perfect schedule to get a full sample size. Look, you cannot be too judgmental on quarterbacks. Josh Allen did not do very good his first 2 years. It takes time. Not every quarterback comes out and is an instant success. But Fields was improving weekly, and to say he wasn't is just incorrect. Yeah, if you look at his yardage, you could argue that he wasn't, but look at the Raiders game. Like, he was learning, he was getting sharper, you could see him making quicker, better decisions. When to run, when not to. He did not turn the ball over very much. Like, I'm not going to sit here and try to argue about who's the better quarterback. We know Russell can put the ball wherever you want it. But, take away Pickens. There's no threat to Russell. Take away Pickens. Take away Harris. Put it all on Russell's back. And what can he do? Nothing. At least Fields has some legs. At least he can surprise you every now and then. And still make passes that I've absolutely seen him make. We need to be drafting receivers. And the secondary was shit all season. So, receivers and linebackers. And if we're thinking of Fields, some linemen. It's just, God, man. You know, the Ravens were the better team. Hats off to them. I didn't think we were going to beat them, especially not with the way momentum was going. But this was such a frustrating season. To argue with Pittsburgh fans that were so delusional that they were really telling me that we're going to go to the Super Bowl despite the numbers. Because Russell beat the Jets. Look at the Jets game. Just look at the Jets game. Hey, Siri. What was the score in the Steelers versus Jets game?
The Jets were defeated by the Steelers on October 20th,
37-15, okay? We won 37-15. That was Russ's first game, and everybody acted like that was Russell that scored 37 points. It wasn't. Russell scored 14 of those 37 points, which wouldn't have been enough to win. 2 were defensive touchdowns, and 1 was a touchdown by Harris. And then 1 was literally a turnover, an interception, ran back to the 1-yard line. So, Russ did horrible the first half, got handed the ball at the 1-yard line, ran it in for himself for a touchdown. The score was because of the defense, not because of Russ. The defense made us look better than we were all season and bailed out Russell's turnovers all season. The defense bailed us out a lot. In the Bengals game, had it not been for that defensive touchdown, we still would have lost despite Russ putting up 414 yards. So the defense bailed us the fuck out. When Russell would turn it over, they would get an interception. You take away all those turnovers and all those points the defense got and all those short fields. Russ did not do much. He was mediocre. And what I wanted to see was, is Fields good enough to continue with, or do we need to draft a new quarterback? And the answer to that question is, I don't know, because we didn't see enough. What I do know is that Russell, with this offensive coordinator and with this roster, is not good enough to get us there. So is Fields the answer, or is getting a new quarterback the answer? And if we would have played Fields all year, we would know the answer to that question. Because I could have told you without Russell even playing that he wouldn't have taken this to a Super Bowl caliber offense. But he's not just to blame for that. Lack of weapons, as I've already said. Lack of weapons, man. We only have one really good receiver. Muth is up there too. But lack of weapons and an offensive coordinator that's in his second year dealing with his third quarterback that really isn't aggressive until it's too late. So, but that's Tomlin's fault for making him deal with a third quarterback. This was a bad coaching year. This was a wasted year. And next year, if our plan is to just do the same thing, start Russell, same offensive coordinator, do the same shit, well, what you're going to get is a team that can't take it 10 yards against a good defense. And I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of watching other football games and going, oh, that's how football works. The team fights back. I'm just fucking sad, man. Because for a very, very, very split second, that Bengals game happened, and I thought that I was wrong and that Russ might be it. But I said at the end, could this be a fluke? Because we played a horrible defense. And what happened the second time we played them? We lost. I don't think Russell's the answer, but I don't know if Fields is either. That's why I wanted to see him play all goddamn season. That's why I wanted to see him play against a good team. And we didn't get to see that, so we don't know, which means this was just a fucking waste of time. This was a wasted year. We learned nothing. Except that with Wilson alone, he ain't it. We need more weapons. Well, and yeah, I think we need to be parting ways with the offensive coordinator. And I think we seriously need to be considering starting Fields for an entire fucking year and getting a good sample size and then debating if we need to get a new quarterback or not. Because at the end of the day, Russell is old. The only reason starting him makes sense is for a Super Bowl ring, and we are not there yet. We are a young team. We just lost Big Ben and all of our vets, dude. So we need to be building. And instead, what we're trying to do is throw in a veteran quarterback and make it work. And it ain't fucking working. That was not it working. And I've been saying it to Pittsburgh fans all season long that we're going to be one and done in the playoffs with the offense that we got, whether we play Fields or Russ, according to the numbers. And I was 100% right. So, but I'm not a real fan because I'm critical of the team that I watch. I don't just blindly go, we're going to the Super Bowl every fucking year. Dude, I wish we learned something from this season, but we didn't. We wasted time. That's all we did. And if next year our plan is to just start Russell and keep the same offensive coordinator and do the same shit, then we're going to waste this defense. And by the time Russell retires, we're going to have a horrible fucking defense if we do manage to find a good quarterback. This game hurt my feelings. Just had to be the Ravens. Fuck you, Ravens. But I hope they beat the Chiefs. They're not going to play the Chiefs, are they? They're going to play, who won the Texans game? Hey, Siri.
Uh-huh.
Texans versus Chargers.
The Chargers lost to the Texans in the
Yeah, that's
NFC
what I thought.
Wildcard
Yeah, they
round
came
yesterday.
back. Yeah.
The final.
That's right. The Chargers started off and the Texans somehow came back. They didn't look the best, so I think the Chiefs played the Texans. Lucky fucks. So that will mean the Ravens will play the Bills or the Broncos, depending on who wins that game. Well, if the Broncos win, then they would play the Chiefs. So we'll see. I just wish I had something positive to say that at least we learned this, at least we learned that. What I learned is this offensive coordinator sucks. And Wilson ain't it. But I don't think Fields is either. I think we need to draft another quarterback. But I don't think it's fair to say that about Fields because we did not see a large enough sample size. And the fact that he got benched after a fantastic Raiders game is insane to me. And then came out. He slid on one game. He slid a yard early, and that was just more ammo for the Fields haters. But, After that, we got the first down, and if it wasn't for that play, we wouldn't have gotten that first down and gotten that win. That was a very important play that Fields got. Yes, he slid too early, but still, he's the reason why we were able to shut that game out. People look at things so pessimistically when they want someone to fail. And my unbiased opinion on these two quarterbacks is that one is better with in the air. One is better on the ground and more unpredictable. One holds on to the ball better. One turns it over more. For every great play by Russ is a bad play by Russ, is a long sack. Fields wasn't having those problems. He just wasn't getting us to the red zone all that much. But when we were getting there, we were converting. So use Russ's arm, use Fields' legs when we get inside the 20. I don't know why the fuck we didn't do that. This is a bad coaching year. Sum it up to you. A bad coaching year. And it just sucks, man. 5 losses in a row in the season. And they didn't put up a fight at all. And again, that's the offensive coordinator. The Ravens, 95-yard, inside their own 5, 95-yard drive to score. How do we answer? With a flea flicker that leads to nothing. Awesome. Now let's run it for nothing. Now let's pass it for 2 yards. Oh, 3 and out. Cool, we stopped the Ravens. How are we going to answer? Oh, run it. Run it. Pass it 1 yard. Up, 3 and out. Offensive coordinator, you need to fucking go. That if one thing's for sure, whether we need different offensive coordinator. How about that? That's the one thing that I took from this year. We need a different offensive coordinator. If we're going to move on with Russ moving forward, we need an offensive coordinator that's ballsy and knows the talent that he has, because he doesn't seem to. And I don't know. I would like to see them both utilized, and I would like to see a bigger sample size from Fields so we can figure out if we need to draft another quarterback or not. But at the same time, even if we had Tom Brady, we do not have enough weapons. We do not have the greatest run game. So we need more receivers. Hopefully in the draft we do that. I don't know, but I do think it was shitty of Tomlin to put in Russ when he did. And if you look at the numbers, it fucking sucks, man. It always sucks to see your team get sent home. Now we got 180 days till we get to see them play again and see them struggle to get a first down. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate all your love and support, man. You know, we've been snowed up, and I haven't really been able to go to work, and I'm really stressed the fuck out because of it. I haven't made a venting video in about a week, so I'll probably make one tomorrow. But I needed to stew and figure out how to word this, because I didn't just want to yell and be all angry, but I mean, this is 5 games in a row. It's like the first half we didn't even try, got behind by 2 possessions, and now the offensive coordinator is like, okay, we got nothing to lose, now let's throw it. Do that all the time. Bye.